Hi there, YouTube, Guildmouse here. I bet you've been missing my shiny happy face, and I can guarantee you that I've been missing yours. So today what we're going to be talking about is policing others. Are you ready for this? Because I know I am. So Guildmouse, policing others, really? Isn't that the GM's job? No, not entirely. I mean, you're just as responsible for the atmosphere going on as the DM is. And that's something that a lot of players, especially new ones, don't entirely realize. Because, okay, here's my best example. Your DM is putting you in an interesting setting. Say you're in the middle of a town, and something serious is going on, like you're having a conversation with the head of the town guard and she's relaying information to you. Well, suddenly one of your fellow players suddenly starts yelling, "My dick!" at the end of every sentence. It's very important that we find the princess, because in the event of her death, everything will fall. On my dick! That can get a little distracting, don't you think? I think so. Some DMs can roll with the punches. The town guard member that's with the captain looks to the townsfolk person and says, "Move along, this is not a scene, you are not a part of this information." But then they'll start popping up in other places. The party will split up to go get supplies, to go save the princess, and suddenly Tommy My Dick Jones is running around everywhere and cutting in on people's conversations. This is an example of a good time where you as a player need to speak up and help your DM out. Because when your DM gets frustrated, gameplay can go south. And not all DMs or GMs are going to call it. They're not going to be like, "Okay, look, seriously," in the middle of game, because they don't want to break the atmosphere either. But this person's already doing it. That's one example of policing. In general, a lot of my videos lately have been, if you think it's a bad idea and it's disturbing and to other people and it's upsetting, you probably shouldn't do it. And that's because that's usually what a lot of the problems come from, is people who go, "Oh, this will be funny, everybody else will laugh," but in truth, it's really frustrating. Especially if it's something that everybody should be doing together, but this one person wants to run around and cause a ruckus instead of focusing on the task at hand. Another issue that I wanted to talk about was roll fudgers. Now, for anybody who isn't familiar with what a roll fudger is, it's someone who rolls like a 2 and says that they have a 12. That's cheating, that's bad, and if you catch someone at it, you need to, like, elbow them, make them aware of that, like, not, like, full-on roller derby, elbow them, just, like, nudge them gently with your elbow and be like, "Hey, that's not cool, bro." Have a conversation with your person. If your DM isn't realizing it, after game, pull them aside and have a conversation with them. I have been in multiple games where people have fudged their rolls, and someone has kept track of every single success that person has got, because in a game that lasts a year long, there is no way that you would ever miss a single roll. And this isn't, like, specific to anybody, but this is the best example. There's no way you could go 3 months without missing a single roll or having a critical failure, unless your dice are loaded, and in that case, shame on you, and where did you get those? I don't need them for D&D. I'm just saying that maybe they'd be a nice novelty for a party. But anyways, the point is, don't cheat. Cheating sucks. Cheating ruins the whole game for everybody, because if you always succeed, you don't really have the opportunity to learn from your failures. And if you're always, but then again the argument is, well, if I'm always failing, then how can I learn from success? We learn better from our failures than we do from our successes, because when we finally do hit the success, we've gotten there because we failed so many times. And I can't speak for every GM out there, I'm primarily a player. But when I do run a game, crawl out of my shell and be like, holla, play 3-5 with me, I like people to help me. I like them to give me a hand by helping me watch everything that's going on the table, because I'm so busy running the story that I have busted my butt making for you guys. And from player perspective, I'm too busy enjoying the game that my GM is either running from a module that they've probably modified because it happens, or a story that they have sat down and like spent months on. I'm so wrapped up in that story, I don't have time for that. I'll keep notes in the margins of my notes, because I've mentioned that before, which is a great thing to do. Write notes. Keep notes constantly. I keep notes of who's rolled what, and constant successes and things like that. It's not because I'm a jerk, it's because I obsessively take notes when playing gaming. Because we donate to PlaGMaDA, and if you don't know what that is, we're going to put something in the doobly-doo for you about that. Okay, so the third thing I want to talk about is metagaming. Guildmaster Dan has talked about metagaming before, and we'll probably toss a link into the doobly-doo for you about that one too. But what I'm going to talk to you, oh my dear lovely players, about is metagaming, which, if you don't know what that is, metagaming is where you take knowledge that you yourself as the player, as the roller of the dice and the scribbler on the paper, apply to your character who's, 10 feet from a spiked pit. Utilizing information that you know as a player from a personal conversation or just from a group discussion or anything like that in a game setting is metagaming, and that's cheating, and that's wrong. Unless, of course, you're playing Deadpool, but you probably have special permission for that anyways, which, by the way, you can totally do that in Mutants and Masterminds. You can be Deadpool. You can be Deadpool! Okay. But those are 3 things that you should probably keep in mind when you want to help your DM out. Because policing your fellow players helps your DM out. And I don't mean like you see them roll a 1 and they announce that they have a 15 going, whoop whoop, hold on son, that disrupts the whole game. Don't do that. That's horrible. Funny at the moment, but don't do that. Because embarrassing somebody or shaming them for that act is just going to cause hurt feelings that aren't going to get discussed. Quietly pull your DM aside at the end of the game or during a break, and that player, I cannot stress enough that communication is key, holla, in this, where you talk to everybody involved. Do not single this person out. Do not back somebody into a corner, particularly this person who's causing the ruckus. Don't go talking to the other players like so-and-so, Stevie Ray always rolls a 15 when he rolls a 1, or I saw this, or I saw... That is kettle stirring. Don't be a kettle stirrer. Kettle stirrer is a troublemaker, for those of you who aren't familiar with my outdated lingo. Don't cause problems. Resolve problems. Communication is key, and it is the building blocks, the foundation of having a good game with your friends or your kismeses. Just don't corner people. It's horrible. Alright guys, so that's the end of my video. I'm going to get off my soapbox and I'm just going to say Happy Easter! I hope that you guys got all the chocolate bunnies and sugary goodness and colored eggs that I don't get this year. Yay, Easter! Leave me a message in the doobly-doo, even if it's just to say Happy Easter! I love you, Guild Mouse, because Guild Mouse loves you guys too. So this time, my hair is brought to you by Taylin. It's kind of purple. I don't know how it's going to show up in the video. It's for my sister's wedding. Ah, my little sister's getting married. Alright guys, so leave me messages in the doobly-doo. Suggest some videos. Maybe hit the red button that says, subscribe, and then go over to my channel, because there's going to be stuff there soon. Really soon. Really, really soon. And that's everything. Bye-bye. Happy Easter.